One of these SUVs can go over 300,000 miles, and the dealer will still never learn your name. But number one on this list? That one shocked even us. These are the 5 most reliable SUVs according to Consumer Reports for 2026. And if your current car is in the shop right now, yeah, you should have watched this video sooner. Alright, kicking off this list at number 5, we've got a truck that refuses to die. And honestly, at this point, scientists should be studying it. The Toyota 4Runner. Now, if you've ever met a 4Runner owner, you already know what's coming, because these people don't just like their cars, they build a personality around them. And honestly, they've earned that right. See, the 4Runner has been around since 1984, and Toyota basically looked at the SUV market and said, what if we made something that a mechanic would never need to touch? And then they actually did it. This thing shares its bones with the Tacoma, one of the most proven platforms Toyota has ever built, which means underneath that rugged body, you've got a frame that was designed to take punishment and ask for more. We're talking a body-on-frame construction that can handle off-road trails, harsh winters, Australian outback dust, and somehow still look good parked outside a coffee shop on a Sunday morning. Now here's where it gets really interesting. For 2025, Toyota gave the 4Runner a complete redesign, the first major overhaul in 15 years. Yeah, 15. Most phones don't last 15 months, and Toyota was out here selling the same generation for a decade and a half because people kept buying it. That's not stubbornness, that's confidence. The new generation rides on Toyota's TNGA-F platform, the same architecture under the Land Cruiser, and it's swapped out the old naturally aspirated V6 for a turbocharged 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine paired with an 8-speed automatic. Now, before you panic about losing that V6, hear me out. This new setup puts out 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. And there's even a hybrid option called the iForce Max that bumps things up to 326 horsepower while giving you significantly better fuel economy. Toyota literally said, you want power and efficiency, and then delivered both, like some kind of automotive overachiever. But let's talk about why this thing is on a reliability list and not just a cool trucks list. Toyota's reputation isn't built on hype, it's built on engineering that prioritizes simplicity and durability. The 4Runner uses tried and tested mechanical components, a transmission that Toyota has refined across multiple models, and build quality that comes from factories obsessed with consistency. Consumer Reports has consistently ranked it high for predicted reliability, and real-world data backs it up. There are 4Runners from the early 2000s with over 300,000 miles on the odometer still running daily. That's not a car, that's a family heirloom at that point. Your grandkids might inherit this truck and it'll probably still start on the first try. Now, is it perfect? No, and this is important, so lean in. If you're looking at the brand new redesigned model, keep in mind it's a first model year on a new platform. Toyota is Toyota, but even they can have early production quirks, minor software glitches in the infotainment. Some owners have reported suspension noises that needed dealer adjustments. And because this new turbocharged engine doesn't have the decades-long track record of the old V6, long-term data is still being collected. It's not a red flag, it's just a yellow light that says, pay attention. Also, if you're buying used and looking at the 5th generation, watch out for rust on the frame, especially in colder climates where road salt is a way of life. Check underneath that thing like you're inspecting a house foundation, because a rusty frame on any body-on-frame SUV is a deal breaker, no matter how clean the paint looks. One more thing, the 4Runner rides like a truck, because it is a truck. If you're coming from a crossover expecting a smooth, cushy highway ride, you might be surprised. This thing is built for capability, not for pretending to be a luxury sedan. But if you want something that'll get you through any terrain, any weather, any situation, and still be running strong when your odometer looks like a phone number, the 4Runner is where you start. And that's exactly why it opens our list. But trust me, the next one, it takes reliability to a whole different level. Now, if the 4Runner is that rugged friend who invites you camping every weekend, number 4 on our list is the friend who shows up to that same campsite in a car half the size, spends half the gas money, and somehow keeps up with everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the Subaru Crosstrek. the little SUV that absolutely refuses to be underestimated. Here's the thing about the Crosstrek. It doesn't look like it belongs on a reliability list next to trucks and big SUVs. It's compact, it's modest, it doesn't walk into the room screaming, "Look at me," and that's exactly why people sleep on it. But sleeping on the Crosstrek is like ignoring the quiet kid in class who ends up becoming a billionaire. This thing delivers where it counts, and the numbers don't lie. So, what makes it so dependable? Let's start with the heart of the machine, Subaru's Boxer engine. Now, if you're not familiar, a Boxer engine has horizontally opposed pistons, meaning they sit flat and punch outward instead of going up and down. Why does that matter? Because it creates a lower center of gravity, which means better stability, less vibration, and less stress on engine components over time. It's not just a quirky engineering choice, it's a reliability strategy. The current Crosstrek runs a 2-liter or a 2.5-liter Boxer 4-cylinder depending on the trim. And while nobody's going to call it fast, let's be honest, a shopping cart with a tailwind might give the base model a run for its money. What you do get is an engine that sips fuel, runs smoothly, and just keeps going without drama. And in the reliability world, boring is beautiful. Now let's talk about the thing that truly sets Subaru apart from almost every competitor in this price range: symmetrical all-wheel drive. Standard, not optional, not a package you pay extra for, not something the dealer tries to upsell you on. Every single Crosstrek that rolls off the line comes with all-wheel drive as standard equipment, and it's not some reactive system that kicks in after you've already lost traction. Subaru's system sends power to all 4 wheels all the time, which means whether you're driving through rain, snow, mud, or that terrifying unpaved road your GPS insists is a shortcut, this car has your back. And because this system has been refined over literal decades, it's proven, it's durable, and mechanics aren't scratching their heads trying to figure it out when service time comes. The Crosstrek also rides on Subaru's global platform, which was introduced to improve everything from crash safety to ride quality to structural rigidity. And here's what that means for reliability. A stiffer body means less flex. Less flex means less wear on components, and less wear means fewer trips to the shop. It's engineering logic that works quietly in the background while you just enjoy driving the thing. Now, Consumer Reports has given the Crosstrek outstanding reliability scores, and owner satisfaction data tells the same story. People buy this car, they keep this car, and when it's finally time for a new one, they buy another Crosstrek. It's the kind of loyalty that most brands spend billions in marketing trying to create, and Subaru earns it just by building something that works. But, and you knew this was coming, there are things you need to watch. First, the CVT transmission. Subaru uses a continuously variable transmission across its lineup, and while they've improved dramatically over the years, CVTs in general have a reputation that makes some buyers nervous. Early Subaru CVTs had issues, and even though the current units are far more robust, you should absolutely stay on top of your transmission fluid changes. Don't skip them, don't delay them, just do them on schedule, and the CVT will treat you well. If you're buying used, ask for service records specifically showing transmission maintenance. If the previous owner ignored it, walk away. Second thing, and this is a classic Subaru talking point, the Boxer engine, as wonderful as it is, can be prone to oil consumption in certain model years. If you're shopping a used Crosstrek from around 2018 to 2020, check for oil consumption issues and make sure the previous owner wasn't just topping off the oil and ignoring the root cause. On the newer models, this has largely been addressed, but it's still worth a conversation with your mechanic during a pre-purchase inspection. And one more honest note, if you need serious power, the Crosstrek is not your car. It's built for efficiency, capability, and longevity, not for winning drag races. But if you want something affordable, practical, genuinely capable in bad weather, and reliable enough to make your accountant smile, the Crosstrek is one of the smartest purchases you can make. Alright, that's number 4 locked in. But the next one on this list, it might just be the most complete package we've seen so far. Okay, number 3. And I need you to really hear me on this one, because this is the SUV that outsells almost everything on the road, and yet somehow still doesn't get the respect it deserves in car conversations. It's like the person at work who quietly does everyone's job and never complains. I'm talking about the Toyota RAV4, the best-selling non-truck vehicle on the planet for a reason, and probably parked somewhere within 100 feet of you right now, no matter where you're watching this. Now, let me set the scene for you. It's 1996. The SUV market is dominated by big, heavy, body-on-frame trucks that drink gasoline like it's free water. And then Toyota walks in with this weird little thing called the RAV4, a compact, car-based SUV that nobody asked for. People laughed, critics shrugged, and then regular humans started buying them by the hundreds of thousands because it turned out that most people didn't need a tank to go grocery shopping. Toyota didn't just enter the crossover market, they invented it. Let that sink in. Every single compact SUV you see on the road today exists because the RAV4 proved the concept worked. Your favorite crossover? Yeah, it owes the RAV4 a thank you card. Fast forward to today, and the 5th generation RAV4 is an absolute machine when it comes to reliability. It sits on Toyota's TNGA-K platform, which is shared with the Camry and the Highlander, two other vehicles that treat the word breakdown like a foreign language. Under the hood, you've got a 2.5-liter four-cylinder that produces 203 horsepower in the standard model, and here's where the lineup gets really clever. Toyota offers the RAV4 Hybrid, which bumps total system output to 219 horsepower while delivering around 40 miles per gallon combined. 40 in an SUV. There's also the RAV4 Prime, a plug-in hybrid that cranks out 302 horsepower and gives you around 42 miles of pure electric range before the gas engine even wakes up. So whether you want efficiency, power, or a mix of both, there's a RAV4 that fits your life perfectly. It's like a restaurant menu where somehow every option is actually good, which, let's be honest, never happens at real restaurants. But let's get to the meat of why this thing is sitting at number 3 on a reliability list. Toyota's engineering philosophy with the RAV4 is almost boringly simple. Use components that have been validated across millions of vehicles, assemble them with obsessive precision, and don't chase gimmicks. The 2.5-liter dynamic force engine is one of the most thermally efficient mass-production engines ever made, and thermal efficiency isn't just a nerdy spec sheet number. It means less wasted energy, less internal stress, and longer engine life. The hybrid system uses Toyota's 4th-generation hybrid technology, which has literally been refined since the original Prius launched back in 1997. That's almost 3 decades of real-world data telling Toyota exactly what works and what doesn't. When people say the RAV4 Hybrid is reliable, they're not guessing, they're reading a report that's been written by millions of drivers over millions of miles. Consumer Reports has ranked the RAV4, especially the hybrid variant, among the top of its class year after year. Owners report minimal unscheduled visits to the dealer, maintenance costs stay low, and resale value holds incredibly strong because the used car market knows exactly what a RAV4 is worth. You want a car that doesn't just save you money at the gas pump, but also saves you money 5 years later when you sell it? This is the one. Now let's keep it real, because I'm not here to sell you a fairy tale. The RAV4 has a few things you should absolutely keep on your radar. Number 1, the infotainment system on pre-2023 models is, to put it diplomatically, frustrating. Slow response times, a cluttered interface, and Bluetooth connectivity that sometimes acts like it's never heard of your phone before. Toyota improved this significantly with recent updates, but if you're buying used, test that screen thoroughly. Second, some owners of the RAV4 Hybrid and Prime have reported a harsh ride quality, especially on rough roads. The suspension tuning prioritizes stability and efficiency over comfort, so if you're coming from something plush, you'll feel the difference. It's not uncomfortable, it's just honest about what it is. And third, this one matters. If you're looking at RAV4 Prime specifically, make sure you can actually charge it. A plug-in hybrid without a charging routine is just a heavy hybrid, and you're leaving the best feature of the car completely unused. Have a plan for home charging or workplace charging before you sign anything. One more thing worth mentioning, the RAV4 has had some recalls over the years, particularly around fuel systems and battery components on certain hybrid models. None of them catastrophic, and Toyota has been proactive about addressing them, but always run the VIN through a recall check before purchasing. New or used, 5 minutes of research can save you 5 hours at the dealership. So there you have it, the Toyota RAV4. It's not flashy, it won't make your neighbors jealous, and nobody's putting a poster of it on their wall, but when it comes to getting you from point A to point B for years and years without ever letting you down, very few things on four wheels do it better. And just when you thought this list couldn't get any more impressive, number 2 is about to change the conversation.
All right, number 2. And honestly, this is the point in the list where reliability meets luxury, and those two words almost never belong in the same sentence. Because let's be real, when you think of luxury cars, you think of gorgeous interiors, smooth rides, and then you think of the repair bills that make your soul leave your body. You think of a German sedan sitting in a dealership service bay with a bill that looks like a mortgage payment. But what if I told you there's a luxury SUV that gives you the premium experience and the peace of mind? Yeah, that exists. Welcome to the Lexus NX Hybrid, the vehicle that proves you don't have to suffer financially just because you like nice things. Now, before we go any further, let's address the elephant in the room. Some of you just saw the word Lexus and thought, well, obviously it's a Toyota underneath. And you know what? You're absolutely right. And that's not an insult, that's the entire point. Lexus is what happens when Toyota's legendary reliability puts on a tailored suit, gets a premium haircut, and walks into a 5-star hotel like it owns the place. The NX Hybrid shares its DNA with the RAV4 we just talked about. Same TNGA-K platform, same proven hybrid philosophy, but everything on top of that foundation has been elevated, refined, and polished to a standard that justifies every extra dollar on the price tag. Under the hood, the NX 350h runs a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder paired with Toyota's hybrid system for a combined output of 240 horsepower. Now, that might not sound earth-shattering on paper, but the way this powertrain delivers is incredibly smooth. There's no drama, no hesitation, just seamless power that arrives exactly when you need it. And if you want more punch, there's the NX 450h Plus, a plug-in hybrid variant that pushes total output to 304 horsepower and gives you an estimated 37 miles of electric-only range, so you can do your entire daily commute without burning a single drop of gasoline, and then hit the open highway on the weekend with a full hybrid system backing you up. It's the kind of versatility that makes you wonder why every luxury brand isn't doing this, and the answer is because not every luxury brand has 3 decades of hybrid mastery to draw from. So why is this thing so reliable? Because Lexus didn't try to reinvent the wheel, they just wrapped it in leather. The hybrid system in the NX is essentially the same technology that's been running flawlessly in millions of Toyotas and Lexus vehicles worldwide. The electric motors are simple, the battery management is conservative and well-proven, and the regenerative braking system actually reduces wear on your brake pads and rotors, which means your maintenance costs stay lower for longer. Think about that. The car is literally saving its own parts while you drive it. That's not engineering, that's sorcery disguised as a spreadsheet. Consumer Reports has consistently placed the NX Hybrid at the very top of the luxury compact SUV category for reliability, and the owner data tells a story that would make any other luxury brand jealous. Minimal trips to the service center beyond routine maintenance, hybrid battery packs that last the life of the vehicle for the vast majority of owners, and build quality that holds up year after year without squeaks, rattles, or the kind of mysterious electrical gremlins that plague so many competitors. And let's talk about resale value for a second, because this is where Lexus quietly dominates. A 3-year-old NX Hybrid holds its value better than almost anything else in its class, which means when you eventually sell it, your wallet gets one more reason to smile. But this is an honest channel, so let's talk about what to watch for. First, the infotainment system. Now, Lexus made massive improvements when they moved to the new touchscreen interface and ditched that infamous trackpad from older models. You know the one that felt like trying to navigate a website using a bar of soap. The new system is a huge step forward, but some owners still report occasional lag and a learning curve with the menu layout. It's not terrible, but if you're coming from a system like what BMW or Mercedes offers, you might notice the difference. Second thing, the NX is quiet and comfortable, which is exactly what you want from a luxury vehicle, but the suspension tuning leans so heavily towards comfort that spirited driving feels a bit disconnected. If you're someone who wants a luxury SUV that also feels sporty through corners, you might find the NX a little too relaxed. It's built for serenity, not for canyon carving. And third, watch your tire costs. The NX Hybrid comes fitted with specific low rolling resistance tires that optimize fuel economy, and when it's time to replace them, you'll find they cost more than standard all-season tires. It's a small detail, but over the life of ownership, those replacements add up, and nobody likes surprise expenses. One last note for used buyers: always verify the hybrid battery health. The NX's battery is designed to last well beyond 150,000 miles under normal conditions, but a quick diagnostic check during a pre-purchase inspection gives you that extra layer of confidence. It takes 15 minutes and can save you thousands. So, there it is, the Lexus NX Hybrid. Luxury that doesn't punish you for enjoying it, reliability that doesn't ask you to compromise on comfort, and a hybrid system that's been perfected over generations, not rushed to meet a trend. If the RAV4 is the workhorse, the NX Hybrid is the workhorse that went to finishing school and came back speaking 3 languages. But number one is a car that Consumer Reports basically looked at and said, we don't even know how to give this a higher score. You're gonna want to hear this.
Okay, number 1. The top spot, the most reliable SUV according to Consumer Reports in 2026. And I already know what some of you are thinking. It's gotta be another Toyota, right? Maybe a Honda, a Lexus again? Nope, not even close. Because the king of this list, the vehicle that Consumer Reports basically looked at and said, we're running out of ways to praise this thing, is the Mazda CX-30. Yeah, Mazda. Let that satisfying plot twist settle in for a second. Now, I can already hear the comments being typed. Mazda, the number 1 most reliable SUV? Over Toyota? Over Lexus? And I get it, Mazda doesn't have the global marketing machine that Toyota has, they don't have the luxury badge of Lexus, they don't have that generational trust that some families pass down like a recipe. But here's what Mazda does have: an obsessive, borderline maniacal commitment to building cars right. Not building them cheap, not building them flashy, but building them right. And the CX-30 is the purest expression of that philosophy on the road today. Let's start with what's underneath, because that's where the magic lives. The CX-30 is built on Mazda's Skyactiv vehicle architecture, and if you've never heard that term before, just know it's the reason this car drives like nothing else in its class. Mazda engineers designed this platform with something they call human-centric engineering, which sounds like a marketing buzzword until you actually drive the thing. Every element, the chassis rigidity, the seat design, the way the suspension absorbs bumps, was engineered to work with the natural movement of the human body. Your spine stays aligned, your inputs feel connected to the road, and after a 3-hour drive, you step out feeling like you just started your day, not ended it. Other manufacturers build cars for specs. Mazda builds cars for people, and that difference, you feel it the second you close the door. And speaking of doors, the sound of a CX-30 door closing has no business sounding that solid on a car at this price point. It's the kind of thud that makes you look around to see if anyone else heard it. Now, under the hood, you've got Mazda's Skyactiv 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder producing 191 horsepower paired with a traditional 6-speed automatic. And right here is where I need you to pay close attention, because this is the secret ingredient to the CX-30's reliability crown. While most competitors have moved to CVTs or aggressive turbocharged engines chasing fuel economy numbers, Mazda said no thank you. A naturally aspirated engine means fewer components that can fail. No turbo, no intercooler, no wastegate, no boost-related stress on internal parts. And a conventional 6-speed automatic instead of a CVT means a transmission with decades of proven engineering that mechanics already know inside and out. Mazda chose simplicity on purpose. They chose durability by design. And Consumer Reports noticed because the CX-30 has earned reliability scores so high that it sits above vehicles costing twice as much.
But it's not just the mechanical bits. The interior quality of this car is genuinely shocking for the segment. We're talking soft touch materials, a clean, minimalist dashboard layout, and a level of fit and finish that had automotive journalists comparing it to entry-level German luxury cars when it first launched. Mazda didn't just want to build a reliable car, they wanted to build a reliable car that made you feel something when you sat inside, and they nailed it. It's the kind of interior where you run your hand across the dashboard and think, wait, how much did I pay for this? It punches so far above its weight class that it's almost unfair to the competition. Now, because we keep things honest on this channel, let's talk about what you need to know before signing anything. First, rear seat space. The CX-30 is a subcompact SUV, and it wears that size honestly. If you're regularly carrying adults in the back seat, especially taller passengers, it's gonna feel snug. This is not the car for family road trips with 3 teenagers. This is the car for couples, small families with young kids, or anyone who prioritizes driving experience over cargo volume. Test that back seat before you commit. Second, while the 2.5-liter engine is wonderfully reliable, it's not the most fuel efficient in the segment. You're looking at around 26 to 30 miles per gallon depending on configuration, which is respectable, but won't win any awards against hybrid competitors. You're trading a few mpgs for mechanical simplicity and long-term durability, and honestly, that's a trade most smart buyers should be happy to make. Third, the infotainment system is controlled by a rotary dial on the center console, not a touchscreen while driving. Mazda did this intentionally to reduce distracted driving, and once you get used to it, it's actually brilliant. But the first week, you're gonna reach for that screen and nothing will happen, and you'll feel personally betrayed. Give it time. It grows on you like a good song you didn't like the first time you heard it. And one thing for used buyers, the CX-30 has only been around since the 2020 model year, so the used market is still relatively young. That's actually good news because it means most used examples will be low mileage and still well within any major component's comfort zone. Just do your standard pre-purchase inspection, verify the maintenance history, and you're golden. So there you have it, the Mazda CX-30, a car built by engineers who care more about getting it right than getting it noticed. A car that doesn't need a luxury badge to deliver a luxury experience, and the #1 most reliable SUV according to Consumer Reports in 2026, proving once and for all that the best things in life aren't always the loudest. Sometimes they're just the best built. And that, my friends, wraps up our list of the 5 most reliable SUVs for 2026. We went from the unstoppable 4Runner through the quietly brilliant Crosstrek, past the global phenomenon that is the RAV4, up through the refined elegance of the Lexus NX Hybrid, and landed on the Mazda CX-30, sitting right at the very top, where it earned its place. 5 vehicles, 5 different approaches to reliability, and 5 reasons to actually feel optimistic the next time you walk into a dealership. Now, here's what I need from you. If this video helped you, if it saved you from making a mistake, or pointed you toward a car you hadn't even considered, smash that like button right now. It's free, it takes half a second, and it tells the algorithm to show this video to someone else who's about to waste their money on something unreliable. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? Hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video, because we're constantly dropping content that saves you real time and real money on the biggest purchase most people make after a house. Drop a comment below telling me which one of these 5 you'd actually buy. I read every single one, and I'll see you in the comments. Until next time, drive smart, drive reliable, and I'll catch you in the next one.